These are thousands of blocks, but what if I told you that this is technically also thousands of blocks? That makes no sense, right? Well, this block regenerates forever, giving better blocks and harder enemies the further that you go. There are 10 stages, and at the end, I have to defeat the Ender Dragon. That's my goal in this 100 days. If you go on to enjoy the video, consider subscribing. I'm trying to hit 100k this year, and maybe with your help, we can do it. But without further ado, I spent 100 days in one block skyblock, and here's what happened. It's day 1 and the text was telling me to break the block below, and usually I'd be rebellious and go do something else, but in case you didn't notice, there's nothing else up here, it's just me and this block. I had no choice but to do as the game told me, and so I started expanding my island in a square-like fashion. After a while though, a pig spawned, and he looked straight into my soul, and we had an instant connection. It was kind of weird. It was kind of weird how he did that. Anyways, I started making some wooden tools and breaking more blocks and began to get some amazing loot, you know? Just like top tier loot. All of the gravel blocks were falling down into the void, and then the game gave me a water bucket, so I had the genius idea, you see, I would use it to place a block below so the gravel wouldn't fall. No, I'm kidding, I got told to do that. Minecraft isn't a sandbox game anymore, I have no control over what I can do. But me and Dave over here, yeah, Dave the pig, yeah, we're in this together, you know? So it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, we've reached phase 1, the plains. I figured I'm gonna need some trees, and so I started making an area to grow them and went back to breaking blocks because there's not much else to do right now, actually. And that is when I met Patrick. Yeah. I don't know why I feel the need to name these pigs. I mean, I'm probably gonna have to eat them soon, so I'm just making this harder on myself, aren't I? I'm joking. I'd never eat Dave. But I might eat Patrick. That's a nice moon. Isn't it, Patrick? Yeah. And then Adam the cow spawned. Yeah, Adam. That's his name. Look at this chest. Amazing. Amazing loot. Sassy the sheep. I'm gonna stop naming animals and start some real commentary. Anyway, so I continued. Charlie the chicken. Charlie the chicken is his name. I'm sorry. That's the I swear. That's the last one. I started building this wooden spiral type deal that goes down to my block spawner. Met some more food. I mean friends. Friends are what they are. And then on day 2, I started a farm so I can breed some more friends. Wink wink. Anyway, more and more cattle kept spawning, and before I knew it, I was overrun, and I was getting concerned as the numbers grew that they may overpower me, you see. So I did what anyone in my position would do, and I confined them to a 6x5 prison, or at least some of them. I don't have any wheat or carrots yet, so the cows and the pigs are still chilling with me. This chest has hearts coming out of it, so it must be really good. Never mind, it's apples. But now we're already on phase 2, the underground, and in this phase, I finally got some cobblestone, and I upgraded my tools and even started getting drip-fed some ores, like coal and iron. Also, a mushroom spawned, and these guys are like walking food dispensers. You can literally milk mushroom stew from them, which is kind of gross if you think about it for too long. With the iron that I mined, I made some shears and collected some wool to make a bed with, did some more mining and chopping, and then hit the sack. On day 3, I continued expanding my island, and then met my first set of enemies. Now, I don't want to be the guy who pulls apart a game that's literally made of blocks, but I don't think it makes much sense that they don't burn just because they're wearing hats. Their arms should be on fire at the very least. Anyways, got another chest, and then some rabbits spawned. Now, I don't know what it is about these guys, but they love jumping off and dying. I'm not even kidding. Like, watch this, you can't even make this up. He's running, and he's dead. This chest had a carrot in it, so I could finally get the pigs into the farm, but no cows. The wheat still hasn't grown. But the trees did, so I used the wood to do some more expanding and also made a small mob spawner. But it must have been too small, because only this spider spawned. I call him I'm joking. I don't call him anything, he's just a spider. He doesn't get a name. You're just spiders, you don't deserve names. Nah, but these guys are actually pretty chill. I let this one live. I went back to mining and more mobs were spawning, but they weren't a big deal, to be honest. I had enough space now where I could pretty easily defeat them. I even did a little 360 here, look. Look at this. Hey, look, more rabbits. I wonder what they're gonna do. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Yep, he's gone. Maybe it's because I told them that there were carrots down in the void. I really shouldn't be laughing at my own jokes. That's hilarious, though. I think we can all appreciate that's just funny. He's stuck. Some more zombies, spiders, and creepers spawned, but they were all dealt with. Then I made my mob spawner a bit bigger, lit the area up, and it was working pretty well. When I woke up, they were all burning away, but no bones dropped, so no wheat today either, I guess. Anyway, I got to the end of phase 2 and got a map, which was really cool. Spoiler alert, though. I soon lose this, because I can't be trusted with nice things. We're on phase 3, and it was about time that I built a sapling farm, so that's what I did. Is this done? That's done, right? That's fully grown. I expanded my farm a little, and yeah, that's got to be done now, right? I mean, that's done. Yeah. It wasn't. visible rage. When I woke up on day 6, it was to the burning smell of bones, and this time, they actually dropped some. After a slight disagreement with some creepers, I grabbed them and brought them back to use them as crop steroids, and got enough wheat to gather all of the animals into a pen. But I think I was too late, because I only have one sheep left. RIP to that sheep. He's with the rabbits now. I needed a house, so I decided I'd turn my old tree farm into my house, so I got to work building it, and then something really strange happened. This Enderman didn't fight back. He just sort of stood there and took it. I got an ender pearl though. I don't feel like I deserve it, but I got it. I finished off my house and planted one of these big trees because they give way more wood, and I'm all about that work smart, not hard life. The snow phase was pretty annoying, not gonna lie, since you're just digging snow for most of it, but I did get a man's best friend, so it's the best phase so far. Now we all know that children are the worst mob by far, but these guys come pretty close. I mean, come on, they give you slowness every time they hit you, and they hit me a lot, like an embarrassing amount. Day 8, my big fat tree grew and it was a beaut. I chopped it all down and named my chests. And with all of the iron I'd mined, I could just about afford an iron chest plate, and then this little guy spawned. He did steal my wood, so I did consider killing him for a second, but I decided against it. I made an iron pickaxe, 2 more foxes spawned, but these guys can jump, and he was looking at Charlie the chicken like he wanted to eat him, so I had to kill him. But I did feel bad about it. Like not that bad, but there was something there. And good job I did too, because he stole some of my gold. Another good boy spawned, and I finished the day with some body temperature stew. Body temperature stew. Day 9 rolled around, and I don't trust this guy. I don't trust him. I'm gonna let him live, okay, but I don't trust him. Oh, okay, well, never mind. Never mind then, that ends that. Listen, I'm not gonna interfere with the perfect balance of Mother Nature. That's completely out of my control. By this point, I had a pack of dogs, and I was going to need them, because my first monster party started. I had no idea what to expect, and so I ran for some help for my dogs. That was a bad idea. They died. Well, all but one, but for some reason he sat this one out. I don't blame him. That's true survival instinct, and I respect that. But from now on, I promised I'd never involve a dog in one of my battles again. They're my battles, and I'm not going to let anyone else do the dirty work for me, apart from this polar bear killing the foxes, because that's just really helpful, and also quite funny. Also, look how fast this guy is. He's like the Flash until he died. Day 10, and I already broke my promise. No, I'm joking. I don't know how he got out, but it's okay, he survived. We reached phase 4, which is an ocean phase. Apparently strange creatures lurk in the endless deep water, but I decided to hit these strange creatures into the void by making a conveniently placed hole. Now this may seem like cheating, but it barely ever works, and only on some mobs. So don't worry, you'll still get to see me go through a lot of pain, like a lot. I made a ladder entrance at the top of my house, and on day 11 I woke up with a polar bear and started work on a bigger farm, and continued right into day 12. Now one thing you need to know about my building is that I literally make stuff up as I go along. I have no plan of any sort, and I just start placing blocks, and it usually looks very bad at first, and then as I go along, it looks slightly less bad, and you'll see this a lot. On day 13, I started to build a lookout tower so that I can look out on my vast, endless land, you know? It's a strange looking tower, but it's my tower. Mine and Dave's. On day 14, I got my first turtle and realised he has nowhere to go other than this infinite water supply, so I thought I'd make a pool for him. So I got to work building it, and while I was mining for materials, I got my first diamond. Big moves. A squid spawned, and squids don't breathe oxygen, and so he was slowly dying, so I thought I'd put him out of his misery, but I ended up just giving him, well, an even more painful death. But my heart was in the right place, and that's the main thing, right? Oh, I kicked this guy off, he didn't even try. I caught one of these salmon and put him in a puddle. I carried on work on the pool and spent the rest of the day mining and saving fish. Day 15 and one of these guys spawned. I've forgotten what they're called, but well, it doesn't really matter, I guess. They kept spawning, but they also kept jumping off. So I just ran inside and waited until they yeeted themselves off my island. It was a pretty good system, to be honest. Remember what I said about working smart, not hard? In my first good chest, I got a trident, and I used it to hit this pufferfish for poisoning me, but then decided I'd save him instead. It was a quick change of heart, but then he poisoned me again. So now I'm definitely going to kill him. Carried on saving more fish, but not this guy. I think he was bigger than the others, but I don't know. I might be making that up, but either way, he gave me mining fatigue 3 for 5 minutes, and it felt like 5 hours. Not kidding, I was looking at fish for entertainment. I was back to mining on day 16, and some dolphins spawned. I didn't really know what to do here. Do I kill them? Do I save them? Anyway, I got distracted with this green thing and forgot all about it. Another monster party had started, and yeah, that happened, yeah. I paused the game to try and figure out a way of saving myself, even though I knew I couldn't, and I was just in complete denial about the whole thing, but finally I accepted death's cold embrace and lost everything. But when I respawned, all the mobs had gone. So that's something, I guess. Yeah, this guy didn't fight back either. So I just hit him. I just hit him with a pickaxe until he died. Day 17 was just horrible and rainy and mobs started spawning, so I thought I'd just sleep it off. Day 18 and I got my first music chest. Yeah! I'm not gonna use any of this stuff, but I did get some better gear in this chest, and then I completed the phase, and we're on to 5, the jungle dungeon. Ooh. I finished the pool, filled it with blocks, and then put water over the top and broke the blocks. Then I decorated it with some plants and put all the fishes in. I made some more area around the pool too so that turtles don't fall off, and then pushed them in. I also made a channel of dirt so that I can grow more grass if I need to. I did get given a grass block, but I don't know where that went. Day 20 I met some birdies and then some of these guys spawned. I forgot what they're called too. Fairies? Angry fairies? Fairies that need a day off? I'm not sure, but I started growing some sugarcane and then got a chest with some vines in it and planted them on my tower. And that is when I met Chonka the panda, my best friend. You may not think he's my best friend because I just hit him really hard with an axe, but that was only because I was confused for a second and I felt really bad after. So I pushed him in my house, where he can be nice and safe. Day 21 I was admiring my fish when I noticed one of them had tried to do a runner and suffocated on the hot wood planks. I don't know what happened here though. In all seriousness, it makes no sense. Then 2 witches spawned, and this is where the hole really shines. Witches stand no chance. If they had stats, it would be damage 10, speed 0. Also I got a ghast spawn egg, but I'm going to save that for when I'm bored. A horse, and another witch spawned, bye bye. Also 2 more parrots. I placed some more storage, made some more armor, and then on day 22 I started collecting wood to make my mob spawner. This took ages to make because I had to keep stopping to follow a YouTube tutorial, and also because I got trapped up here. I could hear about 900 mobs had spawned below me, but I had this wandering trader to keep me company. He didn't have anything that I wanted apart from leads, so I had to kill them. I had to. Needed the leads. I used up all of my wood, so I was forced to escape. I jumped down dream style, broke both of my legs, and then went to bed. On day 25 I had some breakfast and oh, sheesh. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of mobs. I ended up spending most of the day hitting them off with snowballs, but eventually I did get back up there and finish it off, and it worked super well. On day 26 another monster party had started. I tried hitting them off, but it just didn't really work. Then I learned that using a bow was pretty good at taking down the fairies. That is when I can aim. I went to bed with Chonka, and on day 27 I was back to it, mining and hitting stuff and shooting stuff and trying to go to sleep and hitting more stuff. I realised on day 28 that dirt was a commodity. Like on skyblock, wealth is measured by how much dirt you have, and apparently I'm pretty broke. I started to realise this farm I was making wasn't very realistic right now. My dirt path had grown over, so I filled it back in with wood and spent the rest of the day farming XP. Day 29 to 31 I was building a better farm, not one that necessarily gives the animals more space, but one that separates them into their own pens. It looks really bad, I mean, let's face it, but trust me, it doesn't end up looking that bad by the end. Because I only had 1 sheep, I had to keep it safe, so I placed it way up high where nothing can touch it. Am I being kind or cruel here? I'm not sure, but probably cruel. Probably cruel knowing me. Now all the animals were in their own pens, it was looking pretty good. Wait, what? That's not a chicken. I started shooting it, but then I thought, you know what? If it wants to be a chicken, fine. I don't really want to waste arrows on a horse that wants to be a chicken. I'm not that guy. Be a chicken if you want. On day 32, I made my first diamond pickaxe and also got some bamboo for Chonka, so now I don't have to feel so bad about stabbing him. Look, he's so happy. He's so fat. Take more. I got even more bamboo and a diamond, and then we went on to the next phase. Red desert. Ooh. I started on it right away and found a llama and a fox. I thought that he took my diamond, but he didn't. So he lives another day. Never mind, forget what I just said, he's gone. Day 33 I was XP grinding and now I've got a pretty decent amount of mob loot. No idea what I'm going to do with it, but I've got it. Then, Squidward spawned, I mean Ruth. Ruth spawned. And so I trapped her in a boat, and then trapped her in a box in the boat, so that she didn't die. Then I met this guy who must have missed the enemy training program because he was the nicest enemy I've ever met. I even felt bad about killing him, so I just sort of awkwardly pushed him off. Then a wandering trader spawned, and some donkeys, and I had mined enough iron to finish off my set of iron armor. On day 34 Eric spawned in, but he didn't have anything that I wanted, but luckily for him, my good side took over and I spared him. See, I told you they'd jump. More of these guys spawned, but this time they did fight, just with no weapons, so they were just sort of slapping me. I got a good chest with some emeralds, and then, yeah. I knew what had to be done, but it still didn't sit quite right. So again, I just sort of awkwardly hit him while he stared at me, no doubt very confused. My pool was now a watering hole for all of the animals to flock to, and it was glorious. It's that time again, so I tried my best to push as many of them off, but as usual, it didn't work. Not really. So I spent the rest of the day taking them out. I slapped this guy right in his big grey forehead. Day 35 and I was getting more emeralds, and then I met a guy called Terry, and I trapped him in with Ruth. I made a lectern and tried trading, but then I thought I'd make an iron farm instead, since that's going to be pretty useful if I keep falling off my island. So I got to breeding them, and on day 37 Terry and Ruth had a little baby, but it wasn't enough. I needed 5 villagers to make the iron golem spawn, so I kept feeding, and they kept breeding. I tried to get this donkey in a boat because I thought it'd be funny, but I don't think he can go in. Ruth the trader was here too, but I don't mind Ruth the trader. She can stay. Don't get me started on Eric though, man. He can get out of here. Sorry, Eric. It's just that you serve no comedic purpose here, so you're gonna have to die. Anyways, day 38, they were still breeding, and I went to work finishing off the rest of the spawner. A guy called Bob spawned in, along with some bad guys, and then I noticed there were 6 villagers in this box, and that's a problem. That would cost me a lot of iron, and so I tried punching the little guy, but he was asleep. So unfortunately, I was forced to kill Terry. Go back to sleep, Ruth. Shh, it's alright. I came back and Bob was in my bed. This bed isn't big enough for the 3 of us. When I woke up, there was finally an iron golem in there and it worked, and now I just need a lava bucket to kill him with. Now I know at some point there was a nether phase that gives you a lava bucket, so I went back to mining, and then boom, there it is. The nether phase. Some piglins spawned in and chased me, and then turned into zombie piglins for some reason. And now I was starting to get ancient debris and obsidian. More and more new enemies were spawning in, and these hogs turned into zombie hogs, which then killed my dog for no reason. They're like tanks too, like they eat arrows for breakfast. Some blazes spawned, but they weren't too much of a problem. I shot them with my bow. Then one of these guys, one of those guys, and one of these guys, he blew up my house a bit. Bob was not impressed. Some more blazers joined, and I'm going to give a word of advice here to anyone who wants to play this game. Don't make your island out of wood. It's not a good idea. The fire was burning under the slabs too, so I couldn't even get to it. Luckily, after about 5 minutes of panicking, I somehow put it out. For now. And yes, that was foreshadowing. On day 41, I patched it all back in and got to work mining. I felt bad about that. I probably shouldn't have done that. I just got way too many donkeys and horses and llamas on this island. It was bound to happen at some point. Another ghast spawned, but he died. I went to check on the turtles, and they were both in the boats. So I got in with one, but I was squishing him to death. But I was like, hang on a second. How come Ruth doesn't squish the turtle? Is she calling me fat? Are you calling me fat, Ruth? Anyway, this is the part of the video where things take a wild turn for the worst. You know in movies where there's that one scene where everything goes wrong and it seems that all hope is lost? Yeah, well that's this scene. So yeah, I got killed by the blazers and then respawned and hit my polar bear out of pure adrenaline. Sorry, bro. Anyway, I'm just gonna let this play out for you. I don't really want to talk about it, to be honest. Yeah, and you know what's the worst part? It's not losing half my stuff. It's not my house burning down. The worst part is that I lost a best friend. On day 42, I thought, you know what, I'm getting this lava if it kills me. And so the game was like, okay, we'll just kill you then. But I put out the fire, and I rebuilt out of a different wood. I don't know why I did that. I got back to work, all day I mined, until finally I got it. I placed the lava in, and on day 43, I woke up to a burning iron golem. Worked way better than I expected to. Anyway, this wasn't the end. I got in more fights. Also, this creeper randomly blew up my mob farm, and that was a big problem, because now I have a mob spawner birthing mobs onto my island, but luckily, they're all one hit away from death, so I fixed it pretty easily. I got another lava bucket, and did Bob just wake me up from my own bed? On day 45, I made a cobblestone generator with the lava, and then got a chest with a whole bunch of goodies, and finally, we were on to the next phase. This phase was so awesome, bees were spawning. I mean, they were flying right down to the void for some reason, but they were spawning. I went down to try and get them to follow me back up, but it didn't work. I did some more cobblestone mining. And then I remembered an old friend. Well, like he's not that old. He died about half an hour ago, but Bob, get out of my bed, I'm not in the mood. On day 47, I changed my island to cobblestone. I'm not going to change the whole thing to cobblestone, I don't have that kind of time, but I did realise that this farm wasn't going to happen. I just don't have enough dirt to finish it. So instead, I'm going to use half of it as a tree farm. So with the smell of melting iron in the air, that's what I did. Speaking of melting iron, thank you. On day 49, I started building my wall, and I watched a guy hanging his llamas from my spawner. I don't know what they did to deserve that, but I do know that it's none of my business. It's absolutely no. Oh, okay. Yep, he just dropped them. Anyways, days 49 to 52, I was making my wall, and I was completely making it up as I went along as usual, so it took ages. Then I spent days 53 to 54 trying to get jungle saplings so I could grow a big jungle tree on my wall. I thought it looked pretty cool, you know? Like it's growing out of part of the wall or whatever. Yeah, no, that's definitely cool. I wanted more, so I tried getting more saplings, and to put into perspective how hard it was to get these saplings, this is how much wood I chopped to get 16 saplings. I don't know why it was so hard. Also, there was a chicken in the mob spawner. I have no idea. I grew 2 more. I thought it looked pretty good. Day 57 to 62, I was building the second walled section, and while I was collecting materials and building all of this, the iron was being collected for me. Also, Bob finally moved out. Alright, Bob. So anyway, after lots of cobblestone mining, I probably should have helped that donkey, I'm not gonna lie. It was finally done on day 62. I made an area for my new, much better cobblestone generator, and this one works much better. You can't AFK in it, but you can't have it all, I guess. On day 63, I was breeding cows and killing cows, and is it just me who always forgets how you make these things? Literally every time. I started building my enchantment area, but I didn't have enough books yet, so I spent the rest of the day making an area to grow more sugarcane, and I'm not gonna lie, this place was starting to take shape. I should really fix that tower, but it seems more like a 200 days job to me though. Smash like. I waited for more sugarcane to grow and planted it, and on day 66 I was back to work on the other side. I'm just basically mirroring what I've already done. It took ages to do because I had to keep running back and forth to copy it exactly, but then on day 70 it was done. But of course now the pool isn't central. Day 71 I was collecting more iron, and now I'm pretty stacked. I finished my enchantment table and enchanted a new pickaxe, and I have like the best pickaxe enchantment luck, I swear. I don't know if it's just me, but I get this enchantment every time. Then I got fire aspect on a new diamond sword, and then enchanted a load of bows and combined them to make an unbreaking 3, power 3, and punch 2 bow. Day 72 and 73, I may have forgotten to press record, but it's okay, I was just fixing the pool and making it central. So now it's central, and I can't be bothered to move it, so it's staying there. I also got some golden apples from a chest. I went back to mining, and from 1 diamond ore I got 3 diamonds because of the fortune 3, so that's pretty sweet. I also tested out my new bow, and it kills stuff for sure. Then a zombie horse spawned. I didn't even know they were a thing. Got some more diamonds and some more bees. So I placed down a beehive that I got earlier, and they went in. That's why they're called creepers. Some evil bees spawned, and I got a turtle egg, so I placed it next to the turtles, and I never saw it again, so I don't know. Maybe I should have placed it on the sand. Another monster party started, but they were just evil bees, so you know, it was nice and easy. On day 76, I got a name tag and a saddle from the chest, so I put it on my skeleton horse. I haven't given him a name yet, so we'll just call him, skeleton horse. Upgrade time. Now we're on phase 9, and I collected a ton of lapis, so I thought I might as well enchant my iron armor. It's not the best, but with my XP farm, it's not like it's a big deal. Speaking of, another chicken spawned. I don't know how. On day 77, I stole some villagers from my iron farm to make a trading farm, which besides my island burning down was the most annoying thing so far. To get them from one side of the island to the other was an absolute nightmare. Placed all the beds but didn't have enough, so I went to shear some sheep, and then remembered that I have 1 sheep, and he's already sheared. He's just a cold, very bored sheep. I actually almost fell off then. So anyway, I got some more wool from some string that I had and carried on building. Apparently you can go through blocks if you're in a boat. Never knew that, but it was super helpful with getting them in. So then I went around placing torches so that zombies didn't spawn and attack my villagers, because, you know, we wouldn't want that happening now, would we? And then literally 10 seconds later, I look back, and what do I see? Bruh. So day 79, I pretty much had to repeat the process all over again, except first I had to breed more villagers, and this time I was dealing with children, and they were way worse. He just ran inside my house and stared at this horse. Anyway, I eventually got him in, and then realised that he's about 1 foot tall, and just walked straight under. But thankfully he wanted to go to bed, so once he was back in I sealed it all off. On day 80 I freed the turtles and got back to kidnapping baby villagers, which again was extremely annoying, and I was questioning if it was even worth it at this point, but eventually I did it. I got them in. Then I went through this weird fishing phase where I wanted to see if I could get any loot from fishing, if I enchanted a good rod, so I spent ages enchanting and combining, and eventually I had a decent rod, but I never got anything other than fish, so I guess it only works in oceans. But on day 82 the villagers had grown up, so I started force feeding them carrots and placed a load of boats around them to catch all of the babies. It's a super inefficient way of doing it, but I just needed villagers and I needed them fast. But for some reason, they weren't breeding. So I tried breaking the slabs above them and replaced them with blocks. And for some reason that seemed to work. All of my donkeys kept pushing the boats away though, so I had to drag them over to the other side of the island. But it was working. It was working for sure. We were catching babies left, right and centre now. That sounds wrong. I started building an area for trading and found this guy just staring at the wall, probably questioning his existence. Your existence is to sell me things, okay? On day 85, I made this mess a bit better by adding rails, and now it's the most expensive, inefficient villager farm. But it did work. The only annoying thing was that iron golems kept spawning in, and I was worried I might accidentally hit one of the villagers and get sent 50 feet in the air by one of them, so I had to keep killing them. Also, I accidentally hit Terry the trader while I was killing cows, and he's gone now. Anyway, on day 87, I went to check on my villager and he had mending on his first trade. I didn't even bother checking up until now. Like, there's no way he would have mending on his first trade. I don't know why I killed this guy. I can't remember. Anyway, I clicked him again and it just wasn't there anymore. Makes absolutely no sense. It just went, and now he sells bookshelves. I do know why I killed this guy though. It was out of rage. So anyway, I broke the lectern and placed it again until he gave me mending, but I found protection 4, and that's good enough for now. But I wanted it a bit cheaper, so I waited for a zombie to spawn, which did not take very long, and then trapped him in with the villager. And at first he was just interested in me, so I left him alone for the night, and when I returned in the morning, sure enough, he was a zombie. So now when I heal him, he'll be all thankful to me and give me better trade prices. So I went to make a splash potion of weakness, but I realized I don't have any nether wart. I did at some point, I remember, but I don't anymore. Or at least I couldn't find it anywhere, and I don't have enough obsidian for a portal, so I tried getting one from a cleric, but he wasn't trading me any potions. But he was buying rotten flesh, and I had a ton of that, so I made some emerald stonks. I didn't want the villager to despawn, so I gave him a name, and then I had an idea. I had a piglin spawn egg, so I could just trade with him until he gives me nether warts, right? Wrong. I don't know why this game hates me so much. I went back to mining, and on day 89 I got given a witch spawn egg, so I thought maybe she'll splash me with a weakness potion. So I spawned her up with my villager, and she only splashes with poison, so I had to kill her, and then I had to eat the golden apple. Fight montage. On day 91 I had some totems and I was finally on the last stage, the end. I needed a bigger storage area, so I enchanted an iron axe and started chopping down a lot of wood and building a staircase up above the farm to make a storage room, and I was pretty happy with it. It's still unfinished, like the rest of my island, and took way longer than I expected to collect all of the wood, but that's where 200 days comes in, so you know what to do. Smash like. On day 98 I had to rush through the end phase, and these guys would just spawn in random places, so it took ages to find him, but I got him. And pro tip, if you're in water, you don't float. Once the party started, but it wasn't actually as bad as I thought. It was just really, really annoying. And the Endermen still don't even fight back. But then in my ignorance, this box guy had provoked one of my bees to stinging him. And when bees sting, they die. R.I.P. Chunker the Panda and Buster the Bee. I just made that up once he died. He was never called Buster the Bee before his death. But anyways, the end is near, and it was time to fight a dragon, so I quickly enchanted some decent diamond armor with protection and fire protection and some other things, and got geared up and ready to leave. I said goodbye to Tuba, Chonker, and Buster, and placed all of the eyes and went in. I took out all of the end crystals, or at least I thought I did. I was here for ages hitting the dragon when it was quite blatantly obvious that she was still being healed. I mean it's right there. You can literally see it. So I finally woke up and shot it, and now I was doing some damage. Heck, I was even having fun. It's actually fun doing this when it's not in hardcore. Oh yeah, I also made a load of L's out of wood, so the last thing she sees is just a bunch of L's. Then as she landed, I made a big one right in front of her face. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna end her with my fist. So I walked up to her, and she just died. I don't even know. It don't even make any sense. I didn't even do anything. Loads of things don't make sense. I mean, look at these Endermen. They still don't even attack me. Look at this. Don't make any sense. Look at this. Nope. Look, this one. Denied. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, I tried taking the egg, but when I clicked it, it completely vanished. I spent ages looking for it, but then I left and found it back at home, and I was like, oh great, here it is. And I clicked it again, and it vanished again. Never to be seen. I was looking for it everywhere. It's nowhere. Anyways, that's 100 days. If you enjoyed this video, smash like. I had a ton of fun making it, so if you want 200 days, let me know in the comments. And remember to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.